As a business owner, as a business mind, as an entrepreneur, you have to figure out how to jump over the next hurdle. There's been days, payroll, I'm like, man, I don't know how in the world I'm gonna pull this off. I've never not made payroll. But if you would have asked me the day before, I'm like, man, this don't look good. I don't know.
Many people are stuck in the place that they're in largely because of the fact that they're not around people that challenge them. And it's not that they don't know those people don't challenge them, it's that they're scared to be alone.
I am going to make a personal commitment to execution over perfection.
Right now, my company is making, over $200,000 a month.
If you give me a piece of music, what am I going to play? And you put that same, piece of music or elements of music in the hands of Michael Jackson, what is that going to create? Little becomes much when you place it in the hands of the master.
So welcome to another edition of Believers Breathe, the podcast, where the aim is to help people embrace self-awareness, self-confidence, and self-worth. I sit down with really cool people who have not only maximized the skill set, but have also maximized a mindset. And so today I got a really cool guest with me, and I think he's going to give us a lot of experience that he's been able to gain over what I've learned is 10 years of quality experience. And so if you could, man, just introduce yourself to the people.
Yeah, thank you again for inviting me to be a part of the podcast. I'm Shawn Thompson, originally from Pensacola, Florida. I grew up there, moved to Nashville to go to college, went to Tennessee State University, played football there on a football scholarship, won a championship my senior year as a team captain.
Yes, sir.
And I finished there with a degree in a bachelor's of business administration degree with a concentration in marketing. So I started working for an advertising company immediately out of college, worked there 12 years. And then I decided I was going to branch out and start my own. So I started my logo, again, 10 years ago, like you mentioned. And we've been rocking and rolling ever since. So that's the brief intro.
That's good stuff. First of all, let me give some people something to hold on to. So with 10 years of experience, talk a little bit about who you've been able to service, any of the maybe notable clients that you're working with, and then just revenue-wise, what have you seen over 10 years of service?
Yeah. So our customer base, there's three areas that we focus on. One is our first is our colleges and our universities. So we spend a lot of time, a lot of energy and effort in making sure that we have good footprint in that space. Our second is our nonprofits and our faith-based organizations. And then our third is our corporations. And so we've had the unique opportunity to work with a number of different individuals in a number of different spaces. The colleges and universities I like because there's a constant rotation of new opportunities, new customers. Every year there's a new group of freshmen. Yeah. Every year there's a graduating group of seniors. And so it really puts our business mindset in a cycle. And so we'll see students cycle in, we also see them cycle out. And it kind of helps us sometimes with our creativity in the sense that, what we did for students, freshmen 4 years ago, we can replicate that 5 years later because they hadn't seen it.
Never seen it, yep.
Yeah, and so that has been beneficial. Some of the customers in that particular space, again, I went to Tennessee State University, so TSU is a good customer of ours, one of my first customers. So they have been awesome. We work with several different departments there, athletics, college education, the student-led organizations, fraternities, sororities, all those good things. So there's a number of organizations we work with there. But outside of there, in the city, Fisk University, Meharry University, we've worked with in the past. Across the country, again, we like to do things in the HBCU space. And so our HBCUs are Kentucky State. We've had the opportunity to work with them several times. Dillard University down in New Orleans, Delaware State, up in the Northeast. Those are our HBCUs. Some of the HBCUs we work with. Some of the larger institutions, Middle Tennessee State University right on the street in Murfreesboro, Temple University, Duke University. So we get an opportunity to work with several different colleges and universities across the country. So that's one group that we really do enjoy servicing. The second is our nonprofits. So there have been faith-based organizations, nonprofits that we work with. The one that we've probably been the most excited about here recently is Teach for America.
Oh, that's a big one.
They've really come on and done a lot of cool things, not just here locally. You know, it's just like with any business, once you start doing well, you know, word of mouth is the best way to extend your arms. And so Teach for America here in Nashville has, of course, helped make referrals to other places. So at this point, we've worked with Nevada, Florida, just a number of different locations across the country. So Teach for America is one. Our nonprofits, American Cancer Society, American Lung Association, just the nonprofit space. And so then when you talk about our corporations, we've had a very unique piece in that as well. One of my most exciting orders ever was I got an opportunity to do some work with McDonald's.
Oh, that's big time.
So to be able to add that to our customer list was important to me, and it's impressive when you mention those type of things to other customers. Dollar General, which is located here locally, we've had the unique pleasure of working with them on several different occasions, and then Cracker Barrel, who's also here locally, we've had opportunities to work with them as well. So when you talk about some of the notable, unique customers that we service, those come first to mind. Probably the thing that I do like the most is that we are also a global supplier, and so we're a decent operation. 10 years in the sense we are not. I don't want your listeners to think we are this multi-million. I am not a millionaire yet, but do an interview with me real soon, and then we can talk through it. But I have the unique opportunity to work with a number of different great customers. One of the things that was important to me is that I wanted us to be labeled as a global supplier. So I put a lot of energy and effort into making sure that we could service someone outside the continental walls of the USA. And so our first customer that happened to be in the Bahamas. And so that one opportunity, that one contact, that one connection made us a global supplier. And so at that point, you know, we do our concept is to land and expand. Can you land in an account and expand into other arms? Can you land in a country, a place, and service them well so that they'll refer you to other places? So we try to use that land and expand in a number of different ways. But again, one of the things that I'm probably the most proud of is that we are a global supplier, and not many people can say that. We're a small minority-owned business. I own 100% of the company, and I can also say my logo is a global supplier. And that was one of the things that I wanted to always be able to share. And for us it's a sense of accomplishment.
Yep.
Somebody outside of, again, the continental USA find our service and our products valuable. So that's our customer base. That's us in a nutshell.
That's really good stuff. So what I did not know is that after college, you were working for 12 years for someone else's company.
Correct.
A lot of people are in that space to where they either haven't started working for someone yet and they're leaving college and they want to go the entrepreneur route, or like you, they have worked for someone but they get this bug to go out and do their own thing. Right. How do people know when it's right? How do you know when it's the right time? How did you know when it was the right time to start My Logo? Yeah, I knew there is a imposter syndrome that most people struggle with. They struggle with it. I'll be honest, even right now today, 10 years in the business, when you look at my business card, it says Shawn Thompson, My Logo. It does not say president. It does not say CEO. It does not have those titles on it. And one of the things I was concerned about is whether or not I'd be prepared to lead an organization. And, you know, just being very truthful, I was uncertain. And I think that's what your listeners may be struggling with right now. Am I ready? And so when I went back and started looking at the customers that I work with, one of the things that helped me is that I was working with other business owners. I was working with other leaders. I was working with other individuals who had a thought,
worked their plan and made it into something. And so being around them so many times, because those are who I called on, those who I sat in meetings with, just like you and I, to service them on their promotional products needs. That's who I interacted with. And so on several occasions, I've had customers to say during that time frame, why don't you start your own business? Why don't you consider branching out on your own? Have you ever thought about just taking the lead? And so it was that constant thought process that I could potentially do it myself. But for your listeners, uniquely, I think what happens is you should get off a go. Generally, they have a great idea. They'll analysis paralysis.
What does that mean?
Is what you have. What you sit there, if I do this, then this happened. If I do this, then that happened. You just sit there and you analyze, and you never put anything into practicality. One of the things that I know to be true is that success leaves clues. So if you are interested in being a successful entrepreneur, there are clues. There are individuals who've done what it is you're looking to do in the industry in which you're looking to do it in, and has some level of success. If you come up with this unique idea that nobody's ever thought about before, there are individuals who took a concept from nothing and created something out of it, and they have been successful. And the way they have become successful, there's clues, and they generally leave clues in podcasts, like you and I are doing now, in YouTube videos, in books, and you have to go find the clues, and it'll lead you to the thing that can help you be successful. So if you're concerned, then know that you are smart enough. That's the one thing that I had struggled with. Am I really smart enough, intelligent enough to do this? And one of the things as an entrepreneur, you do it. Entrepreneurship is a very lonely position, because this vision I got, and I had to figure out how can I share this with others so they could take part in my vision and make my vision come to pass. So there is a silo, very unique, very, I guess lonely is the best word, place that as an entrepreneur you sit. And then at some point you get out of that place and you start sharing what it is, this neat, unique idea, this thing that you want to do, because you make yourself vulnerable. 50% of businesses don't last the first year. 25%, well, at this point, almost 75% of them don't make it to the 10-year mark. So to think about this unique group that I'm now a part of, and I'll be honest, JP, it's not because I'm smart. It's not because I'm so intelligent. I have received favor, and God has always watched out for me. And if I were to say that I did it any other way, I'd be foolish. And so I do think if you're doing the right thing at the right time for the right reason, you'll be rewarded for those things. And what my reward has been, there have been days that I just did not know what was going to happen. Am I going to make payroll? Am I going to be here tomorrow? The pandemic hit, and I really went through a place where I'm like, what am I going to do with my business? Because my business is so focused on people getting together. It was so focused on individuals having an event. They're having this trade show. Let's give out these products. We help with the products. When students were coming to campus, because they were all coming in at one given time, we want to make this event special. Let's give them something. And so when those things stopped happening, I really had to get to a place and get settled and figure out what my next move was. There's a phrase that I use all the time that I really enjoy is to let your next move be your best move. And so once I got settled, once I got done with the woe is me, once I got done with all the craziness, I got settled and I got focused, and then we started looking at opportunities to help our customers through PPE items. And so that was one of the things that helped sustain us. I mean, it's unfortunate, but there's a lot of businesses that closed their doors throughout the 2020. We were not one of those, and we were extremely blessed, extremely fortunate, and God watched out for us. So for those individuals, again, who are concerned about whether or not they should launch, you launch, jump, and then you catch your wings on the way down. but be cautious. The other thing that I did that I also encourage is if you can spend some time and learn on somebody else's dime, that's valuable. So I worked for a company 12 years, and I was a sponge. But one thing about leadership that I think that's important is that you got to all great chiefs were once good Indians, and I was a good Indian. I was a good manager of my time and resources. I was good to the organization that employed me.
Was this also a promotional products
It was
company?
a promotional products company,
Okay.
which is kind of how I learned the industry. And I just think it was valuable. And I never knew that I wanted to go into it for myself. That was not my thought process when I started as I think I was a year out of college. So 21, 22 years old when I started, I wasn't thinking, oh, I'm gonna own my own business one day. I was like, I need a job. The bills come every month. I need a job. And so that's why I took it, because I needed a job. And so in needing a job and the connections and opportunities that were being presented to me, it was just a unique fit to start into entrepreneurship. Again, your association is so important. So because I was hanging out with so many other entrepreneurs, it was just a natural fit. And again, that was 10
And
years
it
ago.
sounds like you were doing so well at your job that people became attracted to you, and then their ideas said Shawn needs to go out and do this thing on his own. So I think it's a lot of value in people understanding, although you may be working a job with the mindset of wanting to do entrepreneurship, you need to master where you are, take full advantage, like you said, of being on somebody else's dime. I think there's a lot of value in that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, God says it like this. Be faithful over this little space, this few things, and then I'll make you ruler over many, or I'll give you an opportunity to manage more. And so because I did a decent job of managing this little salary, this little opportunity, this little bit, that he afforded me an opportunity to manage a corporation. And now, where I once was an employee, I have people that work with me now. And so it's been a unique thing. And so for your listeners who are in that space, you have to do right by the space that you're in right now today. If you are working every day and somebody is looking to you to perform whatever service, you owe it to that organization to do it to the very best of your ability, because it becomes a practice. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you're going to slack on working for somebody, you're going to slack as an entrepreneur, because nobody tells me what time to get in. Nobody tells me, nobody says, Shawn, did you do the report that you were supposed to do at 3? It's due at 3:30, Shawn, did you turn it? Nobody says that. But I developed great discipline working for somebody. And one of the great Nick Saban said it like this: you will either suffer the pain of discipline or you will suffer the pain of disappointment. So either you are going to be disciplined and accomplish the things that you want to do, or you're going to be not disciplined and you're going to be disappointed, because you'll look back in life and you'll be like, I should have done this. One of the things that I do regret, I should have started the business earlier. I waited 12 years, but I should have started it earlier. And I didn't know any better, and I didn't have access to information like this. And life now gives you a ton of resources, and so I didn't know what I didn't know. So if I could go back and do it again, I would probably do 2, maybe 3 years working for that organization, and then I would have launched. I would have started on my own, and I know for a fact I would have been okay.
You would have been okay. That's good stuff, man. So at the point that you said, I'm out of the door and into my own, like, what was step one for you? What was the ground floor, the foundation that you needed to establish in order to really get business going? And I'm asking because I think a lot of people miss out on what the nuts and bolts of business are. And like you said, it's that analysis paralysis. And, I need to do this. I need to do this. I hear I need to get an LLC. I need to get a bank account. Like, where did you start?
This is a great story. This is a great question. It's an awesome question. Let me back into it. When I was thinking about starting my own business, I took an order from a customer that I had been working with in the past. and I got a check from him, and I'd opened up a business banking account. As I got a check, I got the business bank account, and I decide, okay, he paid me for this order. I need to go deposit this order. This is how vanilla I am. This is the truth. So I need to go and deposit this check into the ATM. Now, the way I deposit my checks in my personal account, I just sign the back of it and I put it. That's how you know. That's how you do it. That's how we do it. But when you're a business, that happens differently. So I'm in the line for the ATM, and I got this check, and I was like, I can't write my name on the back of this check. So I don't know what to do. So I call my CPA, who I think is extremely valuable to have somebody that can help you with your finances. You know, developing your team is so majorly important. And so I had a CPA before I ever launched the business. I called, I said, hey, I got this check and I'm in the line and I don't know what to do. And so she said, just write for deposit only on the back, and then you can just deposit the check in there. I said, okay, cool, thank you. Like, I had no idea. But what I'm getting to is, if I would have just analyzed, do I know all these? I didn't know. I didn't know what I didn't know. But because I launched, those things came into place. Because I launched, I developed a good team. Yeah. You need a good CPA. You need a good lawyer. You need almost 3 tiers of what I want to call mentorship. You need somebody who's done it at any level, greater than you are, and it's somebody you aspire to be similar to. So that person can mentor you. They don't necessarily have to be in the field, but they need to be in the business world or in the business field or have some level of success. You connect with them and allow them to mentor you. So that's one level above. Then there's the peer-to-peer mentorship, which I think is important. Peer-to-peer is somebody that's running alongside you. It's almost like I do best in the gym when I got a workout partner. Yep. So if I don't, even in business, you can have a workout partner. I've been fortunate enough that, I share office space with what I want to call my workout partner. It's my CPA. And so we've been in business. She started a year before I did. But to have somebody to run alongside you, to say, you could do better, to say you're not making good decisions, to call you to the carpet when you're not doing the things that you should be doing, but also to have somebody that can celebrate with you when you are doing those phenomenal things. It makes sense. So I think you need the peer-to-peer. And I have a number of individuals who go on to school with me and who started businesses, and they have just been awesome because they know things that I don't know, right? So I can just say, hey, I'm having a struggle here with this. Can you help me? And I may not want to ask the person above me because they might think I'm stupid. So when I asked, remember when I had the question about how do you endorse the check? That was peer-to-peer. So I didn't, quote unquote, feel stupid. Now I was a business major. I graduated with a business degree, and I didn't know how to endorse a business check. And so anyway, peer-to-peer, and then there's somebody you should mentor. I think each person needs someone to show the ropes. It helps you stay focused, to me, on the things that you should always be doing. It's almost like, again, I play football, so I can talk about it in football terms, that you always go back to the basics. How you get in your stance, how you block, knowing the snap count, all those things are basic. It doesn't matter if you're at Pop Warner, middle school, high school, college, or NFL, the snap count is the snap count, and you learn. And so you always have to go back to the basics. And so what mentoring someone does is it reminds you of the basics. These are the things you need to do. Do you have a business plan? Do you have a marketing plan? Have you assembled a team? All those things that business owners need to know, and as an owner that I need to remind myself that I should always constantly do, like these podcasts. You need somebody that you share those kind of thoughts with as well, because it helps you stay grounded. So I think I answered your question, didn't I?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
That's good.
Yes.
So when you talk about assembling a team, what are you looking for? How do you know this person is a good fit? This person may not necessarily be a good fit. I think there's this tug and pull in which oftentimes we want to partner with friends or family because they're closest to us in terms of like access or proximity. And sometimes it works out great. Sometimes it's
not so much.
Exactly. Yeah. So how do you go about picking a team?
skill set. Again, I played college football, and we won a championship my senior year. I'm just going to remind your listeners of that. And I was team captain, 2-time All-Conference, Tennessee State University. We won Ohio Valley Conference. I'm excited about that. But one of the things that I've learned during that process is that your team is important. I was an offensive lineman, and my skill set was to block, to protect my quarterbacks and my running backs. That's my skill set. I cannot go down 40 yards down the field and fair catch a punt. That's not my skill set. I can't drop back, and I cannot throw a spiral 60 yards down the field. That's not my skill set. I can't sit on the island with a receiver and run down the field,
Follow
come
him
back.
everywhere he goes.
Yeah, exactly. and next play, do it again and come back. No, I need 3 steps and stop. That's my skill set. And so as it relates to football, but when it relates to business, I understand my skill set. My skill set is big picture. My skill set is I do a decent job of creating an environment. What do I want this environment to look like, to feel like? And I think it's my mother's fault, but I've never met a stranger. And so she's the same way, and I got this personality from her. My son is very similar. He is a joy to be around, but we don't meet strangers. So the ability to make someone feel comfortable in your presence is important, because people enjoy doing business with individuals that they know, that they like, and that they trust. So if they know you because you have created this name within the industry or within the space, and you've been in it for a while, that's valuable. If they trust you, meaning you're going to do the thing that you say that you're going to do, you have to be a person of integrity. And do they like you? I mean, because I have 1,000 options. If I wanted to go, if we were going to go get lunch, we got 1,000 options. But we're going to go to a place that, hey man, I like this place. Why do you like it? Well, it's close proximity. They got good customer service. The food is good. They give me a discount. Whatever. There's reasons that you like it. And so when you're thinking about this as a business owners, why would they and why should they know you? Why would they like working with you? And why would they trust you people give me thousands upon thousands of dollars to produce a product for them, and they trust that when they give it to me, it's going to come back right. And if it's not right, I'm going to fix it. And so that's trust on a major level. And so I think that's the questions that you have to ask yourself. Do people know, like, and trust you? Going back to your team skill set. So I think when you're looking to build your team, everybody needs somebody to work with them. As a new entrepreneur, you think, I can't afford it. But what I'm encouraging you to think through is that you can afford not to. You cannot afford to do all this stuff on your own. Even when I branched out, there's others who were excited about my vision. It's cast vision, make it plain. When others see it, they'll take portions of your vision and they'll make it happen. And so when I started casting vision to my family and friends and those who were closest to me, there were people who wanted to help. They always tell me what you can do to help. I'm great at that. Okay, good. Can you
Sure.
put together this list of businesses that I want to target? Like I'm great with that. That is delegation. And so as a leader, you have to delegate, and then do people want to work with you? That's another
Let me
thing.
pause you there.
Sure.
How did you learn the art of delegating? I think that's so hard for people to have this vision and they don't want to let it go because this person may not execute it the way I would execute it, or a number of reasons. So is that something that you have innately, or did you have to grow into that skill?
I think I had to grow into it because it was my baby. It reminds me of something I heard once before. If you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, take somebody with you.
It's good.
And so when I think about my team, because I wanted the long haul, because I wanted to make sure we got to the 10-year mark, I've taken people along with me. I mean, I've had a number of different executive assistants, different salespeople. We work with different organizations. I mean, it's just, I think, so the way you get to delegation is if you try to do everything by yourself, you're going to die.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't want to kill myself doing everything myself. And what leaders have to do is to learn how to empower people. But you empower them with knowledge first, and then you empower them with decision-making process next. So this is how I can call my assistant. He knows that if we got an order going on, he knows the questions that I'm going to ask. And so, at this point, I can delegate easily because I get the laundry list of things that I'm going to be concerned about. Those questions are answered. And so if they're answered and then orders are produced and I can spend my time doing other things that are high level, then it just makes sense. So delegation is extremely, extremely important to me. Yeah. But again, there's another thing as a leader that you have to understand is I never delegate things that I haven't done myself or I'm not willing to do myself. So every time I delegate, I've done it or I'm cool with doing it. And so it's not like I'm asking you to, we have cleaning services here, but I don't ask my team to go and clean the toilets. But if I did, it's going to be because I've cleaned the toilets myself. And so, yeah, I think that's important when you start thinking about delegation and how you make the ask. And I think it's important because it frees up your time. There's other things that you could be as a leader, as an owner, as an entrepreneur. There's high-level things that you need to be working on and get out of the minutia of the day-to-day operations. And so the as quickly as you can do that, the more successful you'll be. Yeah.
That's powerful. Let's talk about what exactly you do.
Sure.
So you have a promotional products company. Make that make sense for us. What is that?
Yeah, so promotional products are any item that's capable of being imprinted on with the company's name or logo. So we offer roughly 900,000 different promotional products.
That's a lot.
It is. But it's imprinted cups and pens, shirts, calendars, clocks, watches, just a number of things that organizations, companies would use or need to promote and market their business. If you're going to do a trade show, you need a retractable banner. You need a table cover. You want to give something out. You want to give out stress balls. You want to give out candy with your name on it. You want to give out pens with your name on it. Key tags. Those are the things that we help our customers do. So we think about what the event is. Who are you trying to attract? What is it that you want them to do? You want them to purchase your product? You want them to come by your store? You want them just to know your name? You want them to offer referrals because what do you want them to do? And then we identify an item or product that'll help them accomplish whatever their goal is. You're trying to increase traffic in your store. What item could potentially work best for that? So that's what we do. We are consultants in the sense of we do spend time with our customers and help them think about big picture. But promotional products,
I've never thought about it like that. Like when I thought about your company, in my head it was, I want keychains. I'm going to this company to get the keychains. From what you just said, there's a huge consultation aspect of what you do.
Yeah.
I provide the vision and you say, based on that vision, this is something that I think would be successful for you.
Absolutely. And based on history, right? This is what we did with this university. This is why I think it would be successful for yours. I have 20 years of experience or stories or how I've helped a customer come from nothing to something, how we helped a customer who wanted to penetrate a market do that. Probably one of the most exciting things I did was it was the Great American Giveaway. This was with Cracker Barrel. And Cracker Barrel decided they were going to give away the scratch-offs. The grand prize was an RV because they wanted you to travel the country, or you can take the cash prize was $200,000. And so they were ancillary prizes, if you will. And back then, the MP4s, MP3s were very popular. So we produced the MP4s, MP3s for this national rollout, this national campaign. And so those things were exciting to us because you think everybody wants the money, but if I don't get the money, at least I got an MP4. I got MP. So and then I think we did some duffel bags for them as well. So we supplied those things for them to help them with this campaign. And I think a good promotional products supplier for any organization helps you think through what's the best use of your marketing dollars. Like I've had this conversation 1,000 times, but if we buy the plastic bottle of water, we put your name and logo on it, you decide you're going to give it out to everybody at the homecoming parade. Once they drink your water, they're going to take that bottle with your messaging and your marketing dollars, and they're going to throw that bottle away. So is that the best use of your marketing funds? And, I would suggest not. So is there something else we can do to allocate those funds so that it has life beyond the event?
That's good.
Meaning when I go home, did you give me a hat? Did you give me a shirt? Did you give me a mug, something that I'm going to use in other facets of life, that when I go back to it, I can find that item and I can attach that item to an organization, and now that I need their services, I know where it is. Because again, if you give me a business card, 6 months from now, I'm not going to know where that business card is. But if you give me my favorite pair of sunglasses, whatever, and it has your name and logo on the side of it, I know where my sunglasses are. I'm not gonna know where that business card is. So again, we help our customers think through that process and how they can be. What does life look like after the event? Are they going to stay in front of their customers, front of mind in their customers' thought process when they're ready to make a decision to use their products or services?
That's interesting. I like that process. That's good. I hear the word branding a lot. Is there a difference between marketing and branding?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
They overlap in several areas. Your marketing, in essence, is to you telling your story. It's how do you get your message to the masses. I choose to market in this space, social media, but so it's you telling your story. What your brand is bigger than your logo. It is who you are as an organization at your core. That's your brand. My brand is, we have a couple aspects to it, but the brand is that we enjoy working with our HBCUs. We enjoy that college and university space. That's our brand. But how do you know who we are? It's where we spend our time, our money, and our energy. That's us marketing our business. When you think about us marketing, taking an opportunity like this with you, it markets our business. But when you go to my social media page and you see who we work with and you connect with us and you realize that we work with somebody that you're familiar with, that's us, in essence. We have created or strengthened our brand. And so I think people get hung up on the terminology. I don't know if it's are you successful? The question you need to ask is your cash register ring. Did your cash register ring today? If it did, you have done something well. And so you should be rewarded for that service that you provided. That's the question, right? Nobody, as much as I enjoy every last one of my customers, if they didn't pay me to provide this service or product, we would have challenges. I wouldn't enjoy them as much as I enjoy them now, and vice versa. So it's about your bottom dollar. Were you successful? Did your cash register ring? Did you make a profit on it? Was the profit enough for you to live the quality of life that you want to live for you and your family? Those are the important questions. This is another reason why you get off a go, right? You after a while you get tired of working for somebody forever. You will watch your managers and other owners live the life that you want to live. So you have to create an opportunity for you to excel in the things that you want to do. You have this vision, right? So because you have it, it's not for nothing. Nothing just happens, right? So the fact that you do have it, can you put some systems in place? Can you research to make sure once you do launch, you're in the best possible situation? Can you find other things that are going to feed you to the point that it just puts you in a good situation? Like, I just think all those things are important as a potential entrepreneur.
And when you think about marketing and rolling out these plans, helping customers enhance their vision, has there been any time that you're like, man, I wish I would have did this extra thing or created this extra product? It sounds like you've had tons of success. Has there ever been a moment where it was like, man, I just should have made this another color, or I should have added this product to their lineup, or
I got you. Yeah, there are ebbs and flows in business. There are highs and lows in business. There are successes and there's failures in business. And one of the things that I think I've learned over the years is that when you get to a hurdle in your business, hurdles in essence are made for jumping. So hurdles are made for jumping. So you think a hurdle was there to block you, stop you, to impede you, to impede your progress. That's not the purpose of a hurdle. Purpose of a hurdle is for you to jump over this thing. Take a couple more steps, jump over the next one. Take more. So what we've done for 10 years is we've jumped over hurdles. There was a time that there was an order that was it wasn't messed up. There's a customer side. There's 1,000 things I could tell you. Number one, I'd love to tell you that the customer is not always right. Whoever said that is not true. The customer is not always right. You know what's right? Right is right. So a customer has the potential to be wrong. But as an owner, what you have to do is to make your customer feel comfortable. Did you provide a possible solution? Everything is a learning experience. Is there a way you could have handled that situation better? But the short version of the story is we had a customer, we had an issue with the order. It was a $14,000 order. I was early in my business, probably year 5, maybe 4 or 5, to the point I'm trying to get to is that a $14,000 hit in the business because the customer didn't want to pay for it. It could have been detrimental to our business, and so they didn't want to pay for it. There was just no. It wasn't great rhyme or reason to me why the challenge was, but the way we got over it is, I had to get really settled. It hit and it hurt, and it stopped our progress. I think we had a decent stride. It's almost like the hurdle, right? When you hit it, it messes up your timing, but you got to get timing back down so you can jump over the next one. Because guess what? Here come another one.
Yeah.
And so we had to get settled, and it prepared us to jump over the other. But we did get settled. I focused on sales because I do believe that sales covers a multitude of sins. So the reason that things are blaring is because you're not selling enough, right? If something happens within your business and it's $1,000 hit, nobody likes it. But if you made $10,000 that week, you don't care as much about $1,000 hit. So the sale needed to cover the sin, right? So we started selling more, and and so those products were sat in my warehouse for 2 years. That same customer came back and bought those products, but the point I'm trying to get to is that it was a hurdle, right? And as a business owner, as a business mind, as an entrepreneur, you have to figure out how to jump over the next hurdle. There's been days, payroll, I'm like, man, I don't know how in the world I'm gonna pull this off. I've never not made payroll. But if you would have asked me the day before, I'm like, man, this don't look good. I don't know. But they were hurdles, and I think you just continue to jump over them. And the more you do that, the better you become at it. The great Olympic hurdlers are people who do it all the time. And that's what an entrepreneur does. We solve problems. What's the problem? Because think about it. When they come into my office, it's a problem. If things run smooth, it's the way they're supposed to happen.
You don't hear from them.
Yeah, I don't need, my customers don't call me, and my staff don't need me. But it's the problems. What happened with this? Well, they said it was going to ship on Monday. It didn't even ship till Wednesday, and the customer needed it tomorrow. Okay, so now I interject my skill set to fix the problem. And so that's, as an entrepreneur, sometimes you spend a lot of times with thought process, mental capacity to fix a problem. And the more succinctly and the more consistently that you can fix problems, there's compensation tied to it. My customers have a problem. What's your problem? We need something for this trade show. Let me solve this problem. And so if you solve problems, you get paid for it.
That's good. Speaking of selling, do you think that it's an art or is it a science? Is there this step A, step B, step C, cash register goes off, or is it you coming in, filling the room, having that skill set and saying, normally I would go ABC, but this person seems a little different, so I'm going to go CBA?
Selling is a total body experience.
You gotta explain that.
This is good because I've never explained it like this. I don't know where this is coming from, but I'm gonna try to make it make sense. Selling is a total body experience. So if I told you selling only happened in my head, that'd be a lie. Selling happens in my head, my eyes, my voice, my ears, my hands, all those aspects. Because when I go into a room, do you need my service? If you need my service, then I should be able to sell you my service. If you don't need my service, I need to go. Like how I cannot go into another promotional products company and sell them pens and t-shirts. It's just not going to happen. They don't need me. So my sales says that I qualify this customer or potential customer. Do they need my service? And so if it's an organization that I believe needs my service, I go in and we have conversations. If they feel like they don't need my service, but I feel like they do, they remind me of somebody. I tell a story. This is what happened with Joe Blow, and this is how we were able to help them. Their thought process was very similar to yours, but what they found out is that we could come in and offer some synergy. We offer some solutions. We help them get more traffic in their store, whatever the case may be. So that's the aspect of sales. Sales is also sight. So what am I seeing in this space? You can go into a customer's office. You can come in this office and you can look, hey, I'm calling you in here because I want you to clean the carpets. And you come in and you say, the carpets need cleaning, but if I clean these carpets and next to these dirty walls, that's not going to work. And so now you see opportunities. It's the same thing when I go into my customers. They call me in for a table cover, but not only do you need a table cover, wouldn't a retractable banner look great with this? Are you going to give something out at the show? Can you give out stress balls and pens? And then what does your staff look like? Everybody wearing whatever they want to? Let's put them in a uniform. And so sales happen in your eyes. And then it happens in your ears. Listen, man, this is new. I don't know where this is coming from. I've never said this before, but I think it happens in your ears. You listening, right? I get in trouble with my wife because I don't listen. Same way? Yeah. Okay. Good luck then. I don't know how we're going to get beyond that. And so, but I try very hard to listen because sometimes they're giving you their problem. They're giving you their pain, right? And if you can alleviate the pain, you are golden to them. You have helped them accomplish whatever the thing that they're attempting to accomplish. All these happen in sales, and then the other part is, I guess I'm going to talk about your legs. Can I run to do this? Do I have the capacity to do it? Do I need to enlist somebody else to help me do this? You said you needed it by what date? Can we make that happen? And so it's the motion, I think if you will, into the sales aspect of it. But I also, to go back and to summarize this, I think sales is a learned trait. I think in order to be great at it, you should practice and perfect your craft. There's an art to negotiation. I think that's one aspect of it. There's knowing your products and services. That's another aspect of it. It's the ability to communicate, right? It's like if I came in here, and nothing against it, but if I studied every other word, you probably would lose confidence in the fact that I can take care of you. If I want to leave out of here with a $30,000, $40,000 check from you, and I study every word, and I'm uncertain about whether or not I can get it done. I don't know. You said, where's the products made? I don't know. Can you get it back by December 1st? I don't know. So there's a confidence that I think a salesperson that needs to have, and confidence is generally built on knowledge. So if you know something, if you're certain about it, you have confidence. You can talk about it in great detail because there is this level of confidence. So I think sales is not just one aspect. I think it is a full body experience.
That's good. That's a great way to say it.
Put that on the shirt. Put that on the shirt, man.
You need to coin that one. So I'm going to blow this balloon up, and I'm going to let you think about what is the one thing that you think stands in between people and being stuck on goal, analysis paralysis. If you could summarize it in one word or one phrase, what would that one word or phrase be? You're going to write it on this balloon, and then we're going to pop it, and we're going to take the life out of that thing. So the one thing that stands in between people and just getting started.
Man, this is awesome. Just the fact that you got this idea is simply amazing.
There you go.
Can I hide it from him first?
Yeah, hide it from them.
I really love this concept. I do.
Fear. Talk about it.
You know, I think we got to go back to the primary law of reference, and where we get our thought process on how to do anything, to me, is through Scripture. This is what God said about it. God said, I have not given you the spirit of fear, but I've given you power, love, and a sound mind. I've given you power, the ability to do the thing that you're attempting to do. Love, that you can share what it is that you're attempting to do with somebody, so because you can see them be successful, your family will be successful for it. And then a sound mind. Do I have the mental capacity to do this thing that I'm attempting to do? I think all those things happen. So that's how God deals with it. The way I think we should consider it is, the reason we fear something is the uncertainty of it. It's going back to your knowledge base, right? And so the reason you don't venture out is the fear of what does failure look like. The reason you don't venture out is because I don't know, am I going to be able to fulfill these orders? Am I going to have enough money? Am I going to have enough time? There are all these fears that you generate within yourself. But you and I know there have been times I've done it. I've had a customer issue with an order. I got to call them and tell them that they want it on Friday. It's not gonna make it on Friday, and it eats away at my stomach because I'm fearful of what that conversation could potentially be like. And 95% of the time, those conversations are not less brutal than I made them out to be. I've had those conversations with several customers, and they say, okay, well, that's no problem. We built in the buffer. We don't really need it until 2. So where I was stressing over this conversation, I'm mad at them now, because like, you should have just told me this. You should have, and I wouldn't have been so fearful of the conversation. And so I think the challenge people have is fear. And there is a lot of unknown, but how cool is that, right? Like I just remember as a kid, I grew up in Pensacola, Florida, and I remember we used to go to the state fair. The state fair is a big deal in Florida, but you driving down the street, it's dark. You driving down the street, you don't see nothing. I mean, I'm like, are we? I was concerned. Are we going the right way? They're now taking us to the fair. Why would the fair be out here? It's dark. It's cold. It happens in October. It's cold. I'm like, it's. So I would question what I was supposedly excited about. And then you go over this little hill, and when you go over the hill, there are these lights, and they go to lights, and then here come the sound, and then it's like, oh man, what was I even stressed about? And so I think that's what happens in entrepreneurship. You're on a journey. There's a lot of uncertainty when you start out, but you'll get to a point that things start to look like what I had envisioned. And when they do that, man, you go into the fair. You get cotton candy, you get corn dogs, you get all the things that you wanted from the fair. Man, I kind of want to go to the fair now. Is the fair in town yet?
I don't know. Okay. I can smell it though. So we're gonna take the life out of that.
Yes, sir.
Hope I ain't scare anybody. This has been fun. Like I said, I've learned a lot. I've watched you because, one, I'm a TSU Tiger. 2, I really enjoy like what comes with marketing, the ideas of creating something, giving people that memorable experience. Right. And I think 10 years says that you know what you're doing. So thank you for this opportunity.
Absolutely.
How can people work with you? Where can they find you? If they want to reach out, how can people get in contact?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Let me just take a 10 seconds to say I appreciate what you do in this space. I think it is extremely valuable. One of the things that I admire is that you leave something on record for future generations. And so anytime that I get an opportunity to do a podcast, I think about how my son, who I hope I'm here forever, but one day I may not be. And he can always come back and listen to what you and I have discussed today. And I think that there'll be others who will find something that we share and it's valuable, and you'll go back and re-listen to it because it is valuable. So thank you for what you do. Connect with us. Look, we're on Facebook, Instagram. That's it. Facebook, Instagram, or website. So you can connect with us on Instagram at Logo My Logo. You can connect with us on Facebook at Logo My Logo. We'd love to connect with you there. If you have anything that you think we can help you with, we would enjoy doing that. You can also visit our website at www.logomylogo.com. You can connect with us there. You can see all of our products. And again, if there's something that you feel like we could help you with, we're happy to do that. Not only on the promotional product side, but for the entrepreneur side. I think it's important to have somebody that you can lean on when things get tough, and somebody who's bumped their head the way you about to bump your head. And so if I can help you in that space as well, I'm happy to do that. JP?
Awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate this. Thank you.